So I've got my Osprey Kestrel 48 in green, which I've had for a couple of years now. I paid £92 for that 2 years ago, and it's still the same price today. And I've just bought this Osprey Exos 48. So I thought I'd do a quick video comparing the two and have a first look at this new one as well. So the first thing to say really is obviously both of these are made by Osprey. So with both of them you get their almighty guarantee. And it's just a reminder really to say that whenever you buy an Osprey rucksack, head onto the Osprey website and register it. They've also both got Osprey's stow and go feature, which I really like. It means that you can store away your trekking poles on your bag without having to take it off. And they're really easy to store away and then get back out again afterwards as soon as you need them. So as I said, the Exos weighs just over 1.3 kilos. I paid £91 something for this in the sale at Go Outdoors. So let's have a quick look at what the features are on the outside. So we've got really decent sized side pockets, which you can fit 1.5, 2 litre bottles in quite easily. They have got a side access feature as well, so that again you can get your bottle of water or whatever you need out of that without taking your rucksack off. We've got decent sized hip belt pockets. There's some decent orange foam padding on the hip belt as well, and the usual Osprey closing mechanism where you close the buckle and then pull the straps outwards. Helps you get a really tight fit. And then this airspeed back that keeps the bag away from your back and helps with airflow. I went for the medium/large size because my torso is just over 20 inches, about 20.5 inches. The small medium would have fit me, but it would have been on the limits, I think. You've got really nicely padded shoulder straps. And if we move to the front of the pack, we've got a buckle here and then a huge sort of kangaroo pouch. You could fit loads in there. That's useful for wet gear, waterproofs, anything that you want to keep away from the main compartment in the bag. We've got straps on the bottom to strap a roll mat or your tent to. And then on the lid, we've got a zip pocket in there, and there's a carry handle on the top as well. One thing to mention about the lid on this one is you can remove it. So there's a buckle here, buckle on the other side. You can take the whole lid off. So if you've got a smaller amount of gear or you're going on a summer camp, you can remove that, and then there's a flap inside that you can pull out over the front of the bag that I'll show you in a minute. One thing that I'm not too sure about on the Exos is this strapping that goes all the way from your hip belt pocket up the side of the bag to the top. Now it does cinch itself in at this point, so you can adjust it at the top and the bottom. But once you've got stuff in these side pockets, I'm not sure yet how that's going to work. Because if I've got a big bottle in there and I cinch this tight, I take the bottle out, it's obviously going to loosen up. I then walk around with a loosely loaded bag, or tighten it and loosen it again, but we'll just have a play around with that. I don't think it's going to be a huge issue. There is no rain cover with this. The Kestrel that I'll show you has a pocket on the bottom that stores the rain cover. I also use that pocket to put my water filter in as well. So let's have a look inside. You've got the standard sort of one-handed opening mechanism that all Osprey packs have got. You just pull that little tab to open the pack. And then this is the flap that you can use if you take the lid or the brain or whatever you want to call it off, and there's little buckles in there so that you can still buckle that down. And I'll probably use it like that, as I say, on the hotter summer camps where I've just got my Lanshan and some really small sleep kit. Then inside the bag, I think all Osprey bags have got this as well. You've got a red compression strap that goes from the front to the back, lets you cinch in your load, and then you've got a pocket for a water bladder that comes out just below where the carry handle is on the back. There's also a storage pouch underneath this lid and the red key loop. I'll mention as well, where is it? Sternum strap does come with a little whistle on it as well. That doesn't work. It's all right. It's the whistle. I whistled. I'm sure there'll be loads of things on here that I've missed as well, or things that I'm not using properly. So if anybody's got one of these, comment down below and let us know how you got on with it. I haven't used this one yet, obviously. So the Kestrel is only a little bit heavier. It is a much thicker material, or it feels like a thicker material. I should say as well, the Exos is made from recycled materials. The back, it has got a sort of foam insert that allows a little bit of airflow, but it's not holding a bag away from your back like the Exos does. You've still got hip pockets. The foam on these feels a bit thicker than the Exos as well. and the straps are a bit wider. You've got a little pocket here that holds your rain cover. Now I haven't tried it yet, but that rain cover might just fit over the Exos anyway, so I can just switch that between the two. So I've used this on 25, 30 camps now. It's never let me down. The only problem I have with it sometimes is it does tend to squeak, and I can't work out where the squeak's coming from. It feels or sounds like it's coming from this sort of area where this strap is, but I've played around with it, and 9 times out of 10 it's fine, but on the times that it does start to squeak, I can't get it to stop. Another thing I always do is put my sit mat in this bit here. So the way that you adjust the back's different. It's got a Velcro panel here that you have to remove, slide up and down to where you want it, and then fix it again. But it means that behind that you've got a kind of storage space. So I'll put my sit mat in there, and it means that I can get my sit mat out at any point without going inside the bag. A couple of other key differences with the Kestrel that I really like are the side zips. So one is on this side, a full massive pocket. I put my tent poles and pegs in that, and then you've got a zip on the other side that just goes straight through to the main compartment of the bag. So if you need to get at something that's in the middle of the bag without rummaging through, you can do. And the other thing is the huge storage space at the bottom. So you've got a big zip here which gives you access to a fully separate compartment in there. Now that's really useful for putting your tent in. So the way I pack this bag is I put my poles and pegs in that side pocket and the tent skin in the bottom, so that when I get to camp I can pull my sit mat out, get my poles and pegs, get my tent set up before I even go into getting anything else. Another way of doing it is putting your sleeping bag or quilt and stuff like that in the bottom, but I always tend to put my tent in there. I do really like the sort of look and feel of the Exos. It's definitely a lot lighter than the Kestrel, but the Kestrel does feel a lot more sort of rugged. I will be keeping both of these bags. I'll use the Kestrel for my sort of woodland camps, bad weather camps. I'll use it as a bag that I can just throw around and not really care about. The Exos I'll use for camps where I've got a bit more of a hike, or in summer where I've got less gear and I want to keep that airflow on my back. If you've got either of these bags and I've missed anything, just drop a comment on the video and let us know.
I know the Exos is new and shiny, but if I was just starting out and looking at buying my first rucksack, getting into wild camping, it would be the Kestrel that I'll go for. They're the same price at the minute on sale at Go Outdoors, but unless you're doing miles and miles of hiking, if you're just starting out and you want to do a couple of camps, I'd go for the Kestrel.
If you did find this video useful at all, please take a second to give me a quick thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.